Sasha.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good, good. Everything's working out on your end there?
Hopefully, yes.
Sounds good. So that's
Good.
good. Yeah. So what was your most recent adventure, Sasha?
Getting here. I'm in
Get,
West Virginia,
getting to
and
Virginia?
I'm
Okay.
I'm I'm in West Virginia right now.
Okay. Your
Can you
sound
guys?
is a little off all of a sudden. I'm not sure.
Okay. Can you guys hear me now?
Let me turn it up. Oh, it's on my side. Okay.
Okay, great.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, but now you
All
guys
right.
are low.
Yeah, because when the screen splits, you got to put your head inside the frame. So, Sasha, how do we know each other for the studio audience?
When you moved to Washington D.C., I wanted to be your friend.
Why?
Because
No, I'm just
the
joking.
way that you look at life is one of the most unique ways I know, and I love you for it.
Oh, that's nice to hear. That's great. Thank you. So I saw you. Actually, I saw the back of you before I met you. You and Ian were walking down the street. We were going to Ian's house, and we saw Ian Svenonius. This is where we know each other from Washington, D.C., folks. We saw you and Ian walking down the street, and we were like, oh, I guess Ian's left the house. And you guys were walking down the street, and I said, who's that? And kid says, oh, that's Sasha. So I kind of knew you from the music circle first.
Ooh.
And then what happened is I realized you were one of those people that, like, if you hang out with them, you're going to go on an adventure.
Yes.
And that's what we do every time we get together, and I love it.
Yes.
We always have some crazy adventure.
Yes. Yes.
We were saying we're going to talk, maybe just before we doodle, we talk a little bit about, we went to the Dolly Parton at Wolf Trap Theater, Dolly Parton concert at Wolf Trap Theater.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I felt horrible because I read the tickets wrong and we were late and we didn't get a spot on the lawn. And so I felt like I owed to you that we would meet Dolly Parton. And so we were on a mission to meet Dolly Parton.
By the halfway through the concert, yes, we were. We were trying to figure out, did they just load her from the backstage into some kind of honey wagon, or?
No, well, it's kind of amazing. So we were driving through Rock Creek Park and we
Right.
saw a white limousine.
Right.
Which she actually sang an amazing song, which is a deep cut called White Limousine.
Ah.
And so we were playing that song and we said, look, white limo. And we chased, I think, for like 5 miles into Rock Creek Park. And we finally turned around.
Because we didn't know if it was, we didn't even know if it was Dolly Parton's limo. We were just following a white limo, which can always lead you to something.
But then you did research, and it turns out she sleeps with her crew backstage. She has a trailer, which is like a backstage, like, dressing room and sleeping area,
That's actually how it works for Doodle with Me. So I do Doodle with Me, but then I sleep and eat on the other side of my studio where the camera's not. Yeah, so I have a backstage where I live. No, stupid. I was trying to be funny. It wasn't working. Hey, do you want to doodle together?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. So folks who are new to Doodle with Me, just letting you know that part of what we do here is we have a conversation while we doodle. We invite you to join us. So we're going to now aim our cameras down at our paper. And with doodles, there is no intention behind it. It's just moving a pen around and making marks. So don't put any pressure on yourself to do anything special. Just listen, relax, have a good time, and yeah, hope you enjoy.
It's working. Can you see my little board? Can you see?
I see your ceiling.
Okay. No.
I see your window.
Can you see where my hand?
I can see your hand at the top of the pen.
Oh, awesome. Can you see the page?
Just a little bit, it's at an angle. You may want to tip it. You may want to tip your camera a little bit more. Okay, I'm seeing it sideways in your book.
Is that bad?
No, it's kind of cool. Your hand and your pencil's really big because it's right in front of the camera.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and you can always tip, if you want to show your doodles, you can always tip them a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, now I see your doodle. Yeah, okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right. So after all that kerfuffle. We are ready to doodle.
Well, I had an adventure getting here to
Tell
West
me about it.
Virginia. Oh, Lord. So I was driving and I just was about to hit the mountain range. And I looked down and my tire gauge said that my tire was deflating, and it went from 30 pounds of pressure to 10 pounds of pressure.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was driving in the mountains and I had to pull over.
Oh, my God.
And
The West Virginia mountains.
yes, in the West Virginia mountains. And I think I did the right thing. I had to
Well,
leave my car on the Appalachian Trail and get rescued. That all
no.
happened in the past hour.
Oh, my God. It's so weird that we're starting to talk about Dolly Parton because she's Appalachian, right? Isn't
Oh,
she?
yes. Yes, she is.
So
You haven't,
you were trying to
yeah,
visit her. You were trying to visit her.
yeah, I really was. I
Oh, that
really
sounds
was.
stressful. So your car is still out there?
Yeah, it's still out there on the Appalachian Trail.
Oh my gosh. How far is that from where you are now?
Only 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. So it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for making it here. My God, I had no idea.
Hey, it's always an adventure as long as I can. Yeah, yeah. But I've had many adventures with tires. I even overheard my band, when I was touring once, I overheard them say, "It's so weird how Sasha always checks the tire pressure at every gas station." Like I have a tire pressure issue. Like,
Yeah.
on your gauge on your car, I always
Yeah.
have it at tire pressure. I'm paranoid all the time about my tires.
Do you think that if you learned how to change a tire, you'd feel more like you wouldn't worry about it as much?
No, because I heard a story about a guy losing his head changing a tire incorrectly.
Losing his head? What do you mean losing his head?
His head like popped off his body. He got decapitated.
How did he get decapitated by changing a tire? I don't quite
It
understand.
exploded. It exploded. And an ex-boyfriend told me this myth.
Wait, it makes it sound like the pressure from the tire somehow went into his body, through his hand and into his head, and it popped.
Kind of.
So somehow you're afraid that you're gonna get decapitated if you change a tire. So why
I'm
even
always
bother?
worried about getting decapitated, getting exploded. Like the anxiety
Yeah.
is real. I had to pick up some CO2 canisters. That was an adventure for work and for a hazer machine.
Oh,
And
are hazer machines those fog machines?
yes.
Uh-huh.
And I had to pick up these big canisters and like put them in my car.
Wow.
And it was really stressful because it was a really hot day and I was worried the whole time that it was going to explode, like the car would erupt, in flames. And I arrived to the theater and one of the union guys, I tell him about this phobia of mine. And he says, "Don't worry, it would have been more of a suffocating cold death. You wouldn't have felt it."
How helpful. Very
How
reassuring.
helpful. How helpful.
When I used to live in LA, I used to have car problems all the time. It was kind of a good reason for me to leave, just because I was so sick of cars. And one of the things was I had what was it called? A Vega? Is that what they were called? It was some little kind of hatchback, but it had gotten so bad, and I had so little money that my car hood had somehow gotten smashed, and so it didn't click all the way down into the mechanism to keep it down. So I got a wire hanger, and I just fastened it down to kind of keep it down. So when I was on the freeway, I would always drive afraid that the hood was going to pop open, and it did. One day, it actually popped open, blocked my view as I was barreling down the freeway, and somehow I was able to stop. I don't know how, and it popped back down. But after that, cars, they are nuts. And especially in LA, where everyone's driving like half asleep. I don't think people are actually completely conscious. It's a little bit like doodling.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah, for sure. I'm like, as we're talking about this, I'm just doing like stress lines.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I have a feeling that most of my doodles are stress lines. They always seem to kind of look like that. They're
oh,
very,
I have a good adventure story.
uh-huh.
Between us, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember how you invited me to come work with your kids at the Hirshhorn once.
Oh, yeah.
And the kids did an amazing performance in the Hirshhorn. I don't know how you got that approved. And one of the kids was carrying out their guitar case, and they just nearly swiped one of one of the sculptures,
Oh,
like almost took it
great.
down. And I have to say, your face, like, you didn't have lines, like your lines, like stress lines, like went up into your face, like resting stress face. Like, I've never seen like a face on anyone like that.
Well, I was already taking a lot of risks by even having the teens in that museum at night. And
Right.
then, and they were really wild. I mean, we were trying to, that's the thing. People want to do teen programs, but if you really want them to come, you have to allow them to get a little wild, give them a chance to discover things about themselves. So we were
Right.
committed to that, but at the same time, yeah, the artwork is like a living being. I mean, you have to protect it. Oh
Right.
my God, I just saw losing my job. But now that they know now, and it's too late, they can't fire me. So yeah. I also thought about another adventure we had,
Okay, go for it.
which was going to some amusement park. It was like Halloween Haunt.
Yes, at King's
We
Dominion.
at King's Dominion, and we went there, kind of like, well, I think we had a special drank a special kind of coffee that had. Did it have pot in it, or psilocybin mushroom or something? And we and we went with Dawn, I believe. But the worst part about it was that we were, first of all, I love amusement parks, and you and I were into it, and
Yes,
then
but they were
Dawn and
not.
Alyssa, I don't think were as into it, and that's because there are all these like teenage boys dressed as zombies jumping on people, especially young women. And so they were just like, this sucks. And you and I are like, woohoo! What are we going to do next?
We went to every single one, but I have this amazing memory of us walking through a scare zone. And all of a sudden I look down and there are 3 children walking next to us. And they're like, we're really scared right now.
Oh, that was
Our
sweet.
friends left us, and you're so tall, you look safe. And I think they felt, and they like walked with us out of the scare zone. But we went to, I think we held hands and we started screaming back at the actors, and that was
Yeah,
fun.
we started trying to scare them, which was probably just weird for them. It was a pretty fun night, though. I mean, I miss that. I haven't been to one of those. I mean, I guess we're already, like, I'm one of those people that loves Halloween. So even if, like, mid-September, I'm already like, okay, give me some Halloween.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah. But,
Yeah.
yes, so there was, like, corn mazes. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, do
But
you
you,
remember the crow that popped out of the woods or popped out of the corn and said, "Want some corn?"
you've had a lot of adventures overseas, too. Like, you've been to
Well,
Iceland and stuff.
we went to Berlin together,
Oh, that's right. Boy,
and
we used to
we went
travel.
we went to Newcastle together. And remember that time I was in the
Oh,
London subway and I
right.
was like standing at Piccadilly Circus or something, and I look up and you and Kid were Notting Hill. I was in Notting Hill and I looked up and you and Kid were just standing there. You had just had tea with a friend, and I was like on my way somewhere. And you and
Oh,
Kid carried my suitcase for me. And I was
oh.
literally having a meltdown right before you walked up. Like, you were my little angels. I didn't
Don't
know
have
where
a
I was
meltdown.
going, and you guys were like, "Oh, you're going this way. We'll go with you."
Don't have a meltdown in Piccadilly Circus.
Oh man, or Notting Hill.
Or oh, Notting Hill. I actually just saw Notting Hill, the movie with what's his name, Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts. You know, that was a
Yeah.
film, and I just saw it because of my gym. It has like a movie theater in it, so I I run while I watch stupid movies like that. And Hugh Grant was good, but Julia Roberts, that is the weirdest. She's just weird. I kept looking at her and I was thinking, like, is that a real person? She looked kind of like made out of wax or something, that whole film.
I
She
have a
was,
Russian aunt who called her Julia Roberts' son by accident, and I think that's the funniest thing in the world. So I call her Julia Roberts' son.
Julia Robertson, who's someone we don't know. But if Julia Robertson is in the studio audience, please identify yourself. We'd love to celebrate
Yes,
celebrate you.
yes, Julia Robertson. Come on out. So yes, we also spent time. So we went to Berlin. Do you
All
want to talk
right.
about? It was the International Congress, and then the second one was in Newcastle, and
All
that.
right.
And I remember one morning waking up at that. Remember, we stayed at this amazing bed and breakfast above the venue.
I remember you liked that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I came downstairs, and there was this group called Ukulele Attack. And there were literally 40 people playing ukuleles, just jamming. And I was like walking awkwardly, like down the stairs, like I was interrupting them.
Right. Well, because they were kind of almost felt like they were in a living room, and we were kind of up in the bedrooms. That was kind of how it felt, even though it was a pub. It kind of had a living room. I thought that was so cool. I loved that
And I
place.
kept
And
getting we kept getting yelled at for smoking. And James was encouraging it.
well, and for some reason, I remember someone playing a harp. But you say it's ukuleles, so maybe they weren't playing
Yeah,
harps. I
Ukulele Attack.
that is so funny. I must have been having like some kind of leprechaun fantasy or something. I don't know what it
I
was.
like how you and me, I think one thing we find funny is that we remember the strange details.
right. Right. That is true. That
Like
is
the
true.
funny little things.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Do you
Yeah.
remember anything funny adventure-wise in Berlin?
That's the thing. The reason why Doodle with Me works well for me is because when I talk to people, it helps me remember things. Because sometimes
Okay.
I won't. Because sometimes I
So,
just won't remember it. So
yeah.
Berlin, I do remember. I mean, I remember the food. I always remember the food.
I remember us eating this Hungarian goulash and sharing it together.
And I
Like
remember.
the same bowl we shared because it was so good.
I remember that maybe it was a restaurant where the person cooked the meal right in front of you, like they had a stove in the middle of the restaurant, and they would just cook the food there. That's what I remember, something like that. And then we
Yeah.
also were sitting with like maybe a soap opera star, like a German soap opera star or something. I don't know. It was
Well, I
strange.
do remember the lady who boasted that she had sex 30 times a day or something outrageous. Do you remember her?
That's
So we
funny.
were at a party and the party was quiet and me and her were talking. And then
Oh,
everyone
okay.
was talking and then for some reason they went quiet and she goes, and then when I lived in the island, we had
Oh,
sex 7 times a day.
I remember all the women took you under their wing, and
Yes, those
they were telling
awesome Berlin rock ladies.
the rock ladies took you under their wing and told you all about sex and told you all about when men are good and when I mean, how old were you? You were like 30, right?
No, I think I was 27.
Oh, you were 27. Okay,
I
but
still needed to learn. Hey, we're still learning, right?
but it was kind of ridiculous because it was like they were all telling you about how to take control of men, how to teach them how to respect you, all that stuff. That
Well,
was cool. That was very cool, actually.
what's
I thought they
interesting,
were really
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
The same thing happened to me with a group of Russian ladies on the London trip.
What do you mean? What
And
happened?
well, when I went on that London trip, I met some ladies like, via the same trip that like we went on to Berlin. and they pulled me aside and they told me how, you know, they collect husbands. And they gave me advice on collecting diamond rings.
Cool.
I
Did you
feel
tell
like
them?
all those trips I meet these ladies who tell me what, you know, what's, well, hey, it's worked for them. It's not working for me.
So, I mean, is there like a commonality in terms of what they tell you? I mean, is there like something that is like something that you hear often from people about their advice or?
Well, I have to say, I just recently worked with Ali Wong, and she gives some amazing advice.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I have all these friends who are 39 or 40, which is dead on my age. And they're
Mm-hmm.
wondering why they can't find a man who's as strong as them. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's secretly because they're pains in the asses.
What is she telling you? So how are you supposed to stop being a pain in the
I
ass?
guess
I
you
don't know.
have to chill out, which, you know what, Ryan? Have you ever met anyone who's described me as chill? Would you describe me as chill?
I'm trying to think. I think I've seen times where you've been chill, but when you chill, you are like almost passed out.
Yeah, catatonic.
Yes, I do remember. Yes, but no, but you know what's nice is, Sasha, I feel like you always figure out something good to do. Like it's not, you know what I mean? Like you do try to find like cool places to go. One thing we haven't talked about is like
Yeah.
your ability to find like interesting places in nature to walk, or
Oh, yeah.
always find a pool. So it's, you do seek chill,
Well,
you
I
know?
I feel like I got it from my mother. She was a Girl Scout leader.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
really?
yes,
So
and
is that why you worked for Girl Scouts for so long?
it kind of was. Yeah, I mean that was part of it, and I was like, well, I have a good reputation with these girls, you know. I like was a Girl Scout. I did my internship with them, and I thought they were an awesome organization. They were working, you know, I was working with inmates, girls who are incarcerated through them, and that was
Oh, wow.
awesome,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
We were going to talk about, so
yeah,
you've been in Maine a lot, and that
yeah,
started getting you to go on hikes and things like that.
yeah. So I really, you know, during the pandemic, I think we all had like, you know, a breaking point, you
Yeah.
know, and
Right.
I was in nature, like living in nature, and like, and I decided every day to like get a local, you know, the main atlas and find somewhere on a map and go to it or read, or you know, I like look up places. The best place I went was Jasper Beach. I drove 4 hours, and
Oh,
I was an
wow.
hour south of the Canadian border,
Oh, wow.
and it's a beach that is all jasper like figment rocks. I'm probably saying that wrong. Figment, did I just make up a word?
I don't know. I don't know what the word
Yeah,
is.
and it's like
Figment.
a red rock beach, and like the waves break into it, and it sounds really cool.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and so I went, yeah. So I would constantly like find places, seek things out, and
Yeah.
go to beaches. And I did this throughout the winter. The coolest place I went to was Pineland Farm, and it had all these old buildings.
Oh, interesting.
And I thought it was an old like school, and
Uh-huh.
turns out it was like a really fucked up mental institution from the 20s. And now it's
Yikes.
now it's a organic farm,
Oh, wow.
and like they have like snowshoe trails. So I got really into like snowshoeing.
Oh, interesting. That's like snowshoeing is, it's not, that's not cross country skiing. That's just like walking around with like tennis rackets on your feet,
Yeah, it's
right?
way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I did have a tragic falling over once while trying to pee, and
Oh no.
I froze my butt. That's all I'm gonna say. And I ran back to my car and then stripped naked and got, you know, and changed into fresh clothes.
So when you say froze your butt, like does that, like you had to thaw it out, or what do you mean?
Well, I literally fell because I fell while peeing. So my butt went into the snow, and I fell over into the snow, but my snowsuit was down. So it was very cold. And
Oh.
I kind of stood there for a second and I was like, oh, oh. And then I thought, man, I got to get up or else I'm going to be found like this,
Oh.
frozen. And this is not going to be a cute look. Like I have my pants down right now. And
Uh-huh.
so I ran to my car and, changed into the clothes. But, it's hypothermia is real.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never experienced it. Is it, what does it, like, I guess you get numb. Like I used to do the thing where you go into the
Oh,
ocean.
yeah.
I forget
Swim.
what it's called. It's
Polar
that,
bear swim.
yeah, I used to do polar bear swim where you jump around in the cold ocean. And it's like, basically you have to jump around and you have to do shots. Although I didn't ever do that. Well, maybe I did it once, but, you do the shots and then you kind of jump around and you've got to move your legs or they go numb, So
Well,
I guess that's a little like hypothermia.
I jumped into the ocean in Iceland
Oh,
in the winter. I actually did this blessing with this Orthodox priest.
oh, what was that about? So was it
Well,
like a baptism or?
yeah, no, on Epiphany they bless the waters.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. And so you bless the waters.
And then
What?
people jump in one at a time and they cross themselves and they jump in 3 times and a priest like puts a cross on your head.
Oh, is that Orthodox? Like Russian
Yeah, it's
Orthodox?
Orthodoxy, and like they did it last year. My parents were showing me live coverage from St. Petersburg. Like lines of people do it on Epiphany, which I believe is I'm not sure of the exact date.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be, I guess it's like some part of the year. I mean, does it have roots in paganism or is this something they just made up?
No, it's totally rooted in paganism. Everything in Russian Orthodoxy is rooted in paganism, and that's why I think I've really embraced nature and paganism because my mother is very Russian Orthodox, and I feel like I can resonate with the
Uh,
nature aspects of the religion.
yeah, yeah.
Because the
I'm the
religion
same.
is very full of mysticism, and I feel like that's like what I actually resonate with the religion, to be honest with you.
So kind of through the Orthodox Church is what kind of led you to start to relate to nature in a way that was more mystical.
Right. Yes. And
Interesting.
well, because it was I was raised Russian Orthodox.
Excuse me.
But I feel like really tapping into nature and it helping me check myself, and me going on these daily adventures. Like, I also have to tell you on my adventures, I would pack little snacks,
Oh.
hobo lunches with me. I had like a backpack I would bring with me. I always had like, I always had a go-to grab bag when I would go on these adventures,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
nice. So you really you became like a Girl Scout again.
Oh yeah, during the pandemic, every day for like at least 9 months, I did this. I would like get up and go somewhere.
Well, that's cool. No, I mean, I definitely started hiking more since I moved here, and the hiking's been really interesting. Um, I mean, it's not like you get like what is it, a forest bath. You don't have that kind of experience of being kind of swallowed by the forest and kind of losing your sense of self. It's a little different kind of thing here for me so far. I mean, but but I do, but there is a lot. There's so much interesting like plants to see and animals to see, and sometimes sometimes because I grew up in Hollywood or LA, sometimes I'm on a tour, like on a hike, and I feel like, oh, I'm on the set of some Star Trek episode. You know what I mean? And then other times, I'm like, oh, this feels very wild. So sometimes things feel wild, and sometimes they don't in the desert. It's kind of interesting. Like I kind of look for wildness. You know, that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Like I
How?
love well, what I go to is wild beaches. I
Okay.
only go to wild beaches, like I love going to state parks and national parks that have like wild undisturbed beaches. That's just
Yeah.
really my thing. And acetique with the wild ponies.
Oh, I think I saw pictures of that on Instagram. It looked.
Yes, that is one of my favorite places to go. And actually, in a couple weeks, after I'm done with a long show run, I'm gonna go solo and do some exploring, like down in the deeps of Virginia, down in the very tip of the Outer Banks.
Uh
Like,
huh.
so this is something I do for fun.
That's
As a
great.
single, okay, wait. As a single woman,
Uh huh.
instead of late at night dating, like when you can't sleep, late at night online dating.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Instead of that, I do late night
Aaron B. Is that what you said?
Airbnb.
Uh oh.
So late,
Oh,
can you hear me?
now I can. Yeah.
So late at night,
Yeah.
I will get on Airbnb and look up unique stays
Ah.
and find weird Airbnbs to stay and plan vacations in my head.
That's nice. That's great. Well, now you have a list of them. I mean, I definitely have places I'd like to go as soon as it feels safer. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Sasha, on that note, thank you very much. We are at our at the end of Doodle with Me.
No
Ah,
way, we are? That went by so quickly.
I know it goes by really quick. Yeah.
Well, thank
Thanks
you
for
so much
doing
for
that.
having me.
Yeah, I know it's short, but thanks for doing it. And I as always, love talking to you. You crack me up every time. So I'm just going to make a few announcements. Hey, Mary Beth. Oh, so Mary Beth just joined. Thanks everybody for joining us. Please check out Sasha Lord. And what's your Instagram again? I think it's
Sasha, oh my Lord.
Sasha, oh my Lord. Go check out her account. And thanks again. And I just want to let people know if there's any of the people who are going to be joining after this Doodle with me at 7 o'clock to join for Level Up Your Doodle. That class will start at 7, and that's going to be in about 20 minutes. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of you, as well as thank you everybody who comes to join us. It's fun every time and different every time, and we always like to have people here. So I hope you had great doodles, and thanks again, Sasha. So
Okay. I was just notified that my parents might have been on here, so.
Oh,
hi.
fantastic. Oh, I hope everything's good.
All right.
I love you, Sasha.
All right. Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.